Hello everybody, welcome back. This is Jonathan Gardner playing Factorio Beta version 0.17, Season 2, Episode 22. My last season, as you might recall, was lost due to save file stupidity. It was my own fault, but whatever. I need more belts. I'm going to continue building these machines, these unloaders. I need one for coal. I haven't laid out coal yet. I need to lay out coal. But I have iron and I have copper mapped out more or less. I just need a bunch of belts. I think I need a bunch of stack inserters too. I don't know how many I need, but I think I need a bunch. I think I need a bunch of boxes as well. I'll just grab a bunch of these. In fact, why don't I just up the ante here? Just say you're going to make a bunch of those stack inserters for me. And I wanted the blue belts, probably tons and tons of blue belts. Let's grab, that's not very many, is it? What's going on here? Am I just using belts faster than I'm making them? It looks like I'm making the maximum speed. I can probably upgrade the factories. That will give a little bit of a speed boost. Now he's caught on how many he can insert. So let's go ahead and put some stack inserters in there. Looks like we're catching up. We're bringing in the gears as fast as we need to. So we're making them as fast as we possibly can. I could probably throw a couple speed modules in there, but I don't think it'll help because it's a limitation on how many gears we can get in there. And I did upgrade the iron production. I could do some more there. I don't think it'll help much. That's not enough belts. That really isn't. I'm pretty sad about the number of belts we have here.
What is that? More?
Which one?
That thing.
This red one?
Yeah.
That is my jet.
Is it a mod?
Yes, it is a mod. It's the airplane mod, I think it's what it's called. I forget the name of it.
It has very good maneuverability.
It's very fast. I like it. It takes me to where I want to go. I'm going to go look at the iron production and see. It looks like we don't have a problem with production iron ore. I mean, we could obviously put more modules in there, but I don't think it'll make a difference. In terms of the gear factory, let's go see how we're doing in terms of making iron for the gear factory. So it looks like we have full belts coming out. The gear, we could probably make more of these guys as well. I don't know how many we could make. Let me do some quick calculations here using my fancy schmancy math skills. So we every half second we need 2 iron plates. Now there are 45 items per second on a blue belt. Both sides I'm counting 45 items per second. So how many factories can we build? Well, we need half as many. So we're going to divide by 2 because it takes half a second to build. So that's 22 and a half of these guys. And we're going to divide by the 1.25. So it says 18 is the maximum number that I can have on a belt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I can copy 10. That many, I think, is the right number. I don't know if I did the math right, but we'll see here in a second. Do I have enough? I do not have enough. No, I do. It's done. I miscalculated. I must have miscalculated because it requires 2. So I should divide by 2 again. So the answer is actually 9. 2, 4, 6, 8. And we're just going to leave it at 10. So we're just going to cut it off here. Alt-D for the destructor. We'll go ahead and pick that up. You go ahead and pick that up out there too. So yeah, that doesn't help. This is maximum. It doesn't get any better than this. Alright, so that's that for that. We can't really do anything better there without a massive more construction. And down here for the belts, we don't have any problems if we wanted to build another one. So we've already got 386 more. So I think I'm pretty happy now. I am happiness defined. I'm very, very happy with that. I think that's enough. I don't know. We'll see. Let's go ahead and lay down some belts. I'm going to back out and stop, back and stop, jump out, and we're going to have some fun here. So I have the stack inserters. I have the iron chests. Oh, somebody commented way back when. They said, why are you using iron chests? The iron chests are much cheaper to produce. I know that it probably doesn't matter at this stage of the game. But also, I don't want to fool myself. I want a small... If I could, I'd use wooden chests. But wooden chests just don't hold enough between the two runs of a... Between the first train and the second train. It'll drain the wooden chests too fast. I want them to be buffers, but I don't want to rely on the buffer capacity. I don't want to fool myself basically saying like, oh, I have a bunch of iron in the port when I'm not producing enough iron. I want to match production. So the chests, they serve as the fact that the train comes and then it goes. The chest tied over from when the train comes to when the next train comes. So it's more of a stabilization thing rather than having the factory turn on and off all the time. I'm going to get some more green inserters, more of the stack inserters. Looks like we're busy making them. I got 133 that time. What is the holdup here now? What's keeping us? It looks like we don't have enough gears. We require tons and tons of gears. So what we can do... well, probably not actually. Let's use the stack inserters here. We'll pick up that. We can now right-click to pick things up. So if I wanted more gears, let's just do this. And then we're going to have this guy go. Now we're stuck on how many green circuits we can get. We're actually running out of green circuits. There we go. That should help a little bit. Well, I have some belts. I think I have enough belts. I might have enough stack inserters now. Man, this is fantastic. Let's go ahead and get out of the... There we go. I think that's it. No, there's some up here too. All right. We just need to get some power down there. Oh, you know what? We forgot to do this. There's something that I wanted to talk to you guys about. There's a streamer, you might have heard of him. I don't know his name. I don't want to give him any more popularity, but there's somebody who turns out to be what might be termed a violent radical Marxist. Okay, and don't know the right way to approach this with you guys. I think you're a pretty smart bunch, and just for reference sake, I'm going to explain something that happened during the nuclear bomb. The guy that discovered or came up with the idea how to build a nuclear bomb and that it could be used for great harm. He was a fairly crazy and eccentric scientist at the time. They thought, hey, why don't we build governments based on, you know, scientists making all the best choices for everybody? Which, you know, seems like a good idea. The issue is that, in my experience, politics isn't about being right. It's... See, what's the right way to explain this? There are people that consider themselves in power, and there's people that consider themselves out of power when it comes to political questions. And this is true no matter where you are. And so politics ends up being a contest of who's going to take control of the government. And if that contest is a zero-sum game, if the person who loses that game is completely out of power and they have nothing left to do, then there's a chance that they might become radical, and they might do some things like hurting people and murder and stuff like that. And that's the big concern that I think people should have. Politics is a game you play so you don't end up killing each other. What's that thing that they say about diplomacy? Diplomacy is what you do between wars, or diplomacy is a form of warfare. If you're fighting diplomacy, you're not fighting war. I want to go grab some more of these trains and lay down the copper train, and then I'll start working on the stone and the coal train. So anyway, violent radical Marxism. There's this idea called postmodernism. If you guys aren't familiar with what that is, the Enlightenment came along, and what the Enlightenment did is it said, hey, we can think rationally and logically about things, and we can, come up with ideas and discuss them and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. I think everybody agrees with that. Everybody would like to agree with that, at least. Where are my trains? Then postmodernism came along, and their spiel, their shtick, or whatever you want to call it, is what they do is they say that, look at those enlightened people. They do not live up to what they say they live up to. They're moral, they're flawed and everything like that, which honestly, Enlightenment people understand this. They understand that they're not perfect, and they put in controls and all that kind of fun stuff to make sure that they don't go too far, but sometimes they do go too far, right? So then the postmodernists attack the Enlightenment. They try to discredit the movement. They try to get people to disengage from productive capacity. And this is basically the foundations for what I call Marxism. Marxism has many definitions. The simplest definition I can come up with what Marxism actually is it's a political philosophy that it puts people against each other. It says there's the haves and there's the haves not. Now I only need 2 belts of stone, right? 2 belts of stone. So I'm going to bring the stone down here. There's the haves and there's the haves not. It starts off with the bourgeoisie and the, what are they called? I need some of these guys here. The bourgeoisie and the, proletariat, right? Okay, so Marxism starts with the assumption that there's the haves and there's the haves not, okay? And what the not haves, what the people who are politically disenfranchised, who don't have money, let's actually build 4 of these guys. What they need to do is they need to seize the means of production, okay? And that's a code word for we're going to kill the people that own things, and we're going to take their stuff from them, unless they're willing to surrender happily and gratefully. But who's going to actually do that, right? So that's Marxism shows up in many different forms. Racism, in fact, the racial theory and racial doctrine is in fact a form of Marxism. Somebody's out of fuel. Who is that? This guy's out of fuel. The fuel train is out of fuel. How often does that happen? Let's go figure out why the fuel train is out of fuel. Anyway, if you take like racism and say like, oh, this is a power struggle where the people who are discriminated against have to rise up and kill the people who do the discriminating, and that's the only way you can ever have happiness. That's Marxism. Then there's like radical feminism is Marxism. We have to stop the males. We have to kill them all, right? That's Marxism. Anytime you see somebody divide people into 2 groups and then say we need to kill one of those 2 groups, that is Marxism. Okay, stop, please. Stop. Thank you. I'm going to take you down. In fact, I'm going to go put you down. Actually, you go to your load fuel station, and then I'm going to tell you to stop when you get there. Okay. So when you see people divide people into 2 groups, and then say we need to hurt the group that's in power because we're the group that's weak, and that's the only way to make it happen. This is also, if you understand what Nazism really is, it's basically what Nazis were doing. This is what I need to do this train. I need to change this programming. They had the groups of the Germans versus everybody else, right? And so the Germans had to fight and kill the Jews or the homosexuals or the Jehovah's Witnesses or whoever, the Catholics, whatever group they came up with. They said, we have to kill these people if we're going to have a country, right? So could you please go to load fuel? All right. That philosophy, as you might imagine, is a very dangerous, a very evil philosophy, because rather than having people come together and find solutions that are amicable for both parties. It says we need to fight, we need to hurt, we need to injure, we need to use government and the power to hurt people that we don't like, that don't agree with us, that are different from us. Okay, stop please. Okay, let's do reprogramming here. You need to, I'm going to start from the beginning actually. Let's go ahead and delete all this programming. We're going to say you need to be there for at least 5 seconds or until your inventory is full, and then or up to 30 seconds, right? So this is an and condition, and this is 5. And you have to do it in this order, otherwise it doesn't work. Okay. Come back and try again. Okay. So, postmodernism. There is no, the Enlightenment didn't happen. We're going to criticize people who believe in the Enlightenment ideals. We're going to try to deconstruct and make everybody, think that everything is bad, right? So there's a philosophy out there. They say like, hey, if we want equality in America, we need to rise up and kill the conservatives. Obviously, I'm a conservative, okay? So he's actually saying we need to go and we need to kill Jonathan Gardner, JGGames. We need to kill people who don't think that we should go around killing people who disagree with us. You can see why this is very concerning me, why I want to talk about this. Obviously, when he says things like, let's kill conservatives, let's kill Christians, that's personal, right? That's a personal, violent threat against my safety. And in polite society, if you were to violently threaten someone, then that inspires in that person you're threatening the fight or flight response, right? So if he came to my house and said, I'm going to kill you, right? Even if I invite him inside the house, if he walked to my house with my permission, he said, I'm going to kill you. At that point, I have to make a decision. Am I going to kill this person before he kills me, or am I going to run away, right? And you might think it's just words, right? No, it's not just words. This is real harm that can happen to people. People have been harmed in history in different countries. It does actually happen. So that's something I need to think about. Okay, next thing. Okay, why are they so angry with the conservatives? Conservatives believe very heavily in the Enlightenment. We believe in facts. We believe that there is an absolute truth. There's an absolute morality. Some things are bad. Some things are good. People who subscribe to that political philosophy don't think that way. They think that whatever they think is right, and whatever they think is wrong is wrong. And it is different for each person. Okay? There's going to be some disagreement here between us and them. Like we're going to say it's wrong to kill Jews. You can't do that. You can't just kill people because of who they are. I need more trains. Okay? We're going to say if I really don't like homosexuals, that doesn't give me the right to go around and hurt them. Okay? If I disagree with somebody politically, that doesn't give me the right to be violent or to call them names or to make them feel bad about it, right? That's kind of what the Enlightenment says. We're going to have disagreements about what's good and what's bad, right? And that's always going to exist, right? The question is what you do about it, right? Enlightenment people say, let's talk about it. Let's have a debate. Let's allow us to express ideas that are foreign to us. Let's consider new ideas. Let's consider them rationally and logically and things like that. That's what Enlightenment people do. That's why the Enlightenment was part of the era in Christian history in Europe where we stopped killing each other. Like it doesn't make sense to go around killing each other anymore, over religion. Because, maybe so-and-so is right or wrong or, whatever. You know what I mean? So that's kind of one of the things that we got out of the Enlightenment, thankfully. I'm so proud of that fact that, we decided that we're not going to kill each other with religion anymore. Of just having different beliefs or ideas, right? All right. And you need to really consider the source of these people. What are they truly advocating? Who are they really? When you ask a person, like for instance, this streamer was asked, what about, or he was commenting on child pornography or stuff like that, child rape and incest and stuff like that. And he says, well, it depends. It depends on whatever. No, it doesn't depend. That stuff is wrong. By the way, this is probably not going to work right, is it? Because it can't put more than so much into one belt. I need to do this, don't I? So we can join that the extra so we get 2 belts coming out. What I should do... Yeah, so conservatives are going to say there is an absolute morality. Right? There is a right and wrong. It's wrong to murder. It's wrong to lie. It's wrong to cheat. It's wrong to steal. Absolutely. It's never okay to do those things. Right? And, we're going to say that there is a right to self-defense. that if somebody threatens your life, you do have a right to protect your life. Doesn't matter who you are. If you're a criminal, right? Somebody tries to threaten your life, yeah, protect yourself, right? Because people don't have the right to just take your life. If you're on trial for something, guilty until proven innocent. How many belts of coal do I need? Let me check my thing here and stuff like that. So the Enlightenment was a very real thing. There is a backlash against the Enlightenment because I don't know why exactly these people don't like the Enlightenment. We did learn some things about human nature. We learned about there is absolute morality. There has to be some definition that everybody agrees on of what's good and what's bad. And threatening to kill people because of political differences is the wrong way to go. It's just the wrong way to go. So if you catch people talking like this, if you can persuade them not to, or at the very least, if you can, what's the right way to put this? Argue with them, like explain to them the consequence of their choices so that bystanders can see what's really going on. I highly encourage you to do that. It's just unacceptable, I think, in today's day and age, especially after what we saw in the 20th century when communists and Marxists and socialists murdered over 100 million people. I'm sorry, I'm getting choked up just thinking about what happened in China and what happened in Russia and the Holodomor and stuff like that. This isn't something that you play around with anymore. Marxism, we grew up worried that the Russians were going to nuke us, right? And when that Iron Curtain fell, that was a huge deal, right? We said, finally, we don't have to be pointing nukes at each other. We don't have to be killing each other because of fundamental disagreements like that. And there was a great hope. It's what did Milton Friedman said? He said, the 20th century has been a tremendous failure for Marxism, right? Capitalism clearly won. It's the way to go. We're lifting people out of poverty. We're solving the world's problems with capitalism. And yet here we are talking about socialism again. Why? It makes no sense to me. Capitalism won. Socialism failed, right? Why are we still talking about socialism as something that could actually happen and make people happy? Because every single time it's been tried, literally every single time, it's ended in misery. And you can see the results of it in Venezuela. Why are we still having this discussion? If you want to have people have wealth, if you want to lift people out of poverty, you need to respect their property rights. You need to respect their individual rights. There's just no other way. Anyway, so these violent Marxists are out there. You can call them SJWs. You can call them whatever you like. They are threatening people. This streamer did threaten people. He threatened me personally. He wants to commit genocide against conservatives. I'm a conservative, so he wants to kill me. And I think it's very important that I speak out about this. If you want to have a different political opinion than me, that's fine. I don't care. But if you're going to go around threatening people, that's not okay. Okay, that's a line we can't cross. So I just want to put that out there. That's enough of my rant. Let's get back to building my base. Hopefully nobody will come try to kill me because I happen to believe in property rights. Okay, so we need 2.6 lanes of coal. So that's 2 belts of coal to produce all the coal that we need. And so we can just copy this, actually. We can take all of this and just copy it. Copy the whole thing. Okay. We're going to move this over here like this. Anyway, if this kind of discussion bothers you, I'm thinking of including it more and more as I go along a game because, gamers, we just want to play our video games. Just leave us alone, right? Who wants to have to talk about socialism or communism or whatnot? I don't. I just want to play games. I'm sure you guys feel the same way. But, when you threaten people, it's not a game. It's not a joke. People have died because of threats like that. And we can't play that game anymore. I mean, I lived through I was a child in the 80s, Anyway. I just wish Marxism, the politics of hate and envy would just go away. We can just live our lives as individual, independent human beings. Try our very best, try things out. Sometimes we're going to fail. Sometimes we're going to succeed, But just let us try, Stop trying to baby us. Things like that. Anyway. Rant. End. And yes, I do get emotional over this kind of stuff. It is... I've studied it. I read... I looked at the history and the heartache and the sorrow. I know Russians that lived through it, I know Chinese people that lived through it. This isn't a joke to them, Bernie Sanders and stuff like that, yeah, go ahead and talk about healthcare for all or whatever, but realize what the consequence of those things are. You know, socialism has real effects on real people. So I need the coal to come up to different places. I think this guy needs coal. Probably this is where all the coal goes, in fact. Maybe the grenades get coal. So I'm going to put in here the splitter. And put up here another splitter. I don't know if this is right. I hope this is right. If it's not right, I'll make it right. It's right. Excellent. Okay. I think after these two belts... Oh, I'm out of belts again. Where's my plane? It's the plane, boss. The plane. Where did my plane go? There it is. Let's get some more belts. Hopefully there's a lot more belts up there for me. What is this complaining about? We're missing materials for construction. We need one more. Thank you, robot. All right, rant over. Please don't entertain these people with death threats for different political beliefs. Don't play that game. It's not funny. It's not a joke. Okay? What am I looking at? I need belts. That's what I need. I'm out of belts. Ooh, look at all those nice juicy belts. Okay. So the other place I need coal, I think, is just the grenades. Let me just kind of slow down here. And military science is down here. All right, so we have... No, we have... Iron is already hooked up, right? And then the coal is going to come in from right below the iron. It's just this whole return to socialism thing. After watching the Iron Curtain fall, we had the debate. 20th century was a debate about whether capitalism or socialism was correct. And socialists lost, right? It wasn't even a fair match, right? We totally outclassed Russia. They really didn't even stand a chance. I told one of my Russian friends, I said, you remember when that pipeline blew up? And he's like, yeah. And I say, you know that America did that, right? And he's like, yeah. And I said, see? And I remember that the general sentiment, like even my dad who worked in the defense industry, you know, very, very pro-American. Obviously, he's my dad. He taught me these things. And he talked about it as if after the oil pipeline blew up, the defense industry, the Reagan administration, they go, holy crap, you know, we didn't intend to do that. You know, we didn't want to ruin the lives of so many people not being able to get oil to heat their homes. That was not their intention. They were playing games with the Russian government. They were trying to subvert the Russian government, try to make it weaker and stuff like that. And after that, there was basically a policy saying we're not going to export things that could be used in the civilian industry. Right? We thought they were going to use those chips in the defense industry, but it turns out those were used for a pipeline. And you know, you can go back in the history books. You can look it up. They're like, you know, we're not going to play that game anymore. We don't want to. Our job is not to make Russians' lives harder than it already is, you know. And yeah, that was a very painful. There's other things that we did to the Russians during the Cold War. You guys might have heard of this idea of nuclear airplanes. Yeah, I've told my kids about this several times. It's absolutely hilarious, right? So one day my dad, he says, you know, the U.S. government was trying to develop nuclear airplanes, right? And I go, what? Nuclear airplanes would never work. And he goes like, yeah, I know, right? And so I looked into it. I studied the history of it. And it turns out in the 50s, we had a couple projects to investigate whether you can make, you know, airplanes that are powered by nuclear power, right? Now, obviously, it's not the most sane thing to do it that way, right? However, why is this going up here? Oh, this is the one to the steel. That's right. So the Eisenhower administration, or whoever it was after Truman, you know, they investigated and decided that no, it's absolutely impossible. You know, maybe you can build a nuclear airplane, but it just wouldn't be worth it. right? And so then the next thing was the Eisenhower administration, whoever said, okay, guess what we're doing? We're going to spend a bunch of money making nuclear airplanes, right? A bunch of money. We're going to open several projects, and we're going to let the Russian spies see it, right? The idea being that we can bankrupt the Russian government by having them invest in things that just didn't work, right? Well, after the Cold War,
Get demonetized.
I'm totally going to get demonetized. But hey, I want to get demonetized. It'll make me more famous, right? Anyway, after the Cold War, we got access to their records, and we were surprised that they spent so much effort trying to develop nuclear airplanes. That's not what I want to do here. We were flabbergasted, actually. It's like, why would you do that? You know that's not a good technology. And the reason why the Russians did it was because they thought the Americans knew what they were doing. They thought we had investigated the technology. We knew what we were doing. And so it was laughable. We just kind of laughed. Yeah, whatever. Another thing. I tell this to people, and they're like, no, that can't possibly be true. And I've seen the reports, okay? So there's this programming language called ADA, right? It's named after Ada Lovelace, purportedly the first programmer, right, on the, forget the name of the machine, the Babbage machine or something like that. And so Ada Lovelace had a language named after her. Okay, the history of the language is kind of weird, okay? So at the time, the Americans were concerned because the Russians, individually, the Russians were smarter than the average American, defense researcher, blah, 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 right? And so we had a huge problem because we knew that it would be very difficult for us to educate and train people we need some of that, educate and train people such that they could compete one-on-one with the Russians, right? But we knew that the thing we could do is we could outspend them, right? We could just build huge projects with massive funds and spend billions and billions of dollars the Russians could never, ever keep up with, right? Well, it was discovered, I don't know how many of these I actually need. I'll just take that and shift right-click. No, whatever. It was discovered that the language Ada was designed specifically so that it required huge teams to develop, right? Individual programmers wouldn't be able to do it, okay? And it was discovered after that the Russians had indeed taken the bait. So they were no longer investigating this language called Lisp. A Lisp is a language that if you know what you're doing, a single programmer can do the work of thousands of people, right? And it literally is. I've programmed in Lisp. It's extremely... The thing about Lisp that makes it so special, makes it so fantastic, is that it allows you to write the programming language as you write the program, right? These things called macros. Extremely powerful. The only issue is basically every program has its own programming language, So you have to be like a PhD scientist to understand it. I don't think that I have too many. I think I have too many of these things, right? Anyway, so Ada was developed as a programming language that requires large teams to develop, okay? That was the thing. That's what its whole thing was. And sure enough, the defense department said, guess what we're programming in from now on? And everybody's like, oh boy, we're programming in Ada, of course. So that was how Ada came to be. Now, the other thing that people don't know is Ada and Java are intimately related. That's why I hate Java. It's one of the reasons why I hate Java. Java was invented as a language to require large departments of programmers to write programs. Other languages are much easier to program in. I'm a living witness to that. I can tell you all about that. And I have way too many of these. Just stop. Thank you. That's enough of that. I can tell you all about it. So Python right now is my preferred language. If you guys want to learn to program, do Python. Don't look back. Don't question why. If you start with Python, you'll be able to learn everything you need to know as a programmer. You'll be able to program in several different paradigms, and if you were to get exposed to something like Lisp, you'd know what you're doing. You'd figure it out pretty quick if you understand Python. So it looks like people are in trouble. Can you close the door? Anyway, so that was something, and the Russians switched from investigating languages like Lisp to devoting their resources to a Lisp-like language. Ada-like language. They took the bait. Yet again. Sorry, Russians. We ruined your economy on purpose. I'll take some of those. Yeah, I love those juicy concrete bits. I do need to put some down here. I would like to fill this in a little bit more. Anyway, Ada, we talked about the pipeline that blew up. There are some other things. I was reading, when I was studying physics, Star Wars. You guys might have heard of Star Wars. Ronald Reagan wanted to invest all this money to build, a star-based defense system. Blah, blah, blah. So I was reading this paper that was written in the 80s by this scientist a physicist arguing that you couldn't possibly stop a rotating missile, right? He said that if you want to shoot missiles out of the sky, you have to shoot them with lasers. And if they're using rotating missiles, if the missiles are spinning really fast, well, there's no way you can get enough energy to concentrate at a point to blow the missile out of the sky. Okay? Another physicist wrote a rebuttal to that and said, you're actually, you don't understand how lasers actually work. You don't need a long concentrated beam. We can concentrate the beam on a pinpoint and we can burst it. We'd actually use like a pulse type laser to blow these things out of the sky. We have the technology already to do this. We could deliver this much energy. They would have to be spinning extremely fast, basically take more energy to get it to spin fast enough that this laser couldn't hurt it than it would to get the thing into space. And, oh, by the way, your math is all off, right? And so I was looking at them like, what's going on here, right? It's pretty obvious that the one guy, his math was all correct. The guy talking about spinning defense systems was off by a lot. And it's just clear that there was some kind of partisanship. Some guy was trying to prevent the U.S. government from investing heavily into this certain kind. I'm out of rails. This certain kind of technology. You have to wonder where the loyalties of those people lie. I just, I don't question it anymore. I know exactly what they're doing. They know who they are. I should probably turn these all into. There are people. John Birch Society. What is it? People say McCarthy wasn't wrong. Hate to say it, but it's true. I don't hate to say it. I like saying it. I like exposing people to the truth. The truth is that John Birch recognized early on what was going on in American politics. All right, that's all that I have to rant on for today. Let me work on the base some more. JJ, what else should I talk about?
How trash you are at this game.
How trash I am at this game. I'm absolute trash. Where's my jet? I need to set up. I'm delaying basically. I need to set up. Where's my jet? It's up there, isn't it? I have to go up there and get it.
2 jets.
Yeah. I don't want to go and build the mines. I'm at this point in the factory where I just want to turn it on. I'm done. I'm tired of building. But I need to find my groove again so I can build those mines. Look at that. I'll take all those out of there. You can have those. I'll take those out of there. You can put those in there too. So anyway, need to think about building stuff. All right. Yeah, I'm going to do this because I want to, not because I have to. Let's do this one here too. Hi, Daniel. Did you take the garbage out?
Huh?
You got the garbage ready to go?
How can you still
Is the garbage ready to go?
JJ.
JJ, is the garbage ready to go?
Yeah?
Oh, I get it. JJ, that was not nice. You should apologize to your brother. Say sorry.
Except for somebody.
Except for
Or
what?
like something.
I had down here something that I wanted. I'll
Get
take
what
that.
you want.
I do need to set up fuel. I don't know what kind of fuel. Maybe I'll just use coal. I could probably just make the fuel, the rocket fuel. I'll take a cargo wagon. I'm going to take Farrell too. Need these guys. Yeah, I think I'll just set up a
I
pipeline.
wanted rails.
Hmm?
Rails.
I'm sorry, what's that?
Rails.
I needed rails. That's what I needed. Totally distracted. Yeah, that guy, man. Threatening people, saying, we need to rise up and kill him. I don't want to live in that kind of country. And if he intends to threaten people, it's not going to be fun. All right, so I have concrete. I want to get chemical plants. Let's check my dump of things here. Are there any chemical plants here? Nope. There's solid fuel. I want that. I want to get these guys too. I want the radar. I was missing radar. I need to carry that with me at all times. Okay. Let's go get some chemical plants. Is 3 enough? I don't know. I don't know. What's enough? I need underground pipes too. Probably need some belts. I'll just start building and then I'll fill in the rest when I figure it out. I should have taken my plane. Oh, almost ready to turn this on. Probably grab some more from here. So what I'm going to do is set up here. I don't know how many I need to make. I want to put... Sure. Let's put in... That's too far away. You guys will make solid fuel from light oil. You guys will make rocket fuel. And then we will just reload. I think yellows are enough. Let's get some medium power poles here. Let's just use these. And now we need the inserters here. Maybe that's what I need to do, is have the belts go underground like that.
Oh, that's a big belt.
That is a big belt. Ah! I'm almost out of these belts. It's okay, I think this is the last one. Yeah, this is the last one. Ah, stop that. We'll just use little blue inserters. Well, I kind of want to go to the other side. No, I don't.
No.
All right. Make everything equal. Everybody must be equal. Right, JJ? That's like rule number 1 of life. Everything's equal. No? What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean that everything isn't equal? I thought that's how life works.
What?
Isn't everything supposed to be fair and equal?
No.
What?
Is it fair and equal that your grandma died?
Stop it!
That's mean, Caleb.
That's cruel. It's cruel but correct.
Still mean. Is it fair and equal that you can't be black?
What?
That's a bit weird, Caleb.
Kayla, you trying to get my channel banned?
Yes. I think he's already
Oh, I'm trying hard. Yeah. Talk about Marxism.
We haven't talked
Yeah.
about guns yet.
Oh, haven't talked about global warming?
No, Dad. When you're like somewhere in Texas and you want to go somewhere warm, just go to what's his name?
Who?
The guy that started global warming.
Wait,
Oh, Al Gore?
Yeah, just go to one of Al Gore's meetings.
Oh, yeah. The Gore effect. Yeah, there's the joke that the Gore effect. When Al Gore gives a talk on global warming, the temperature will drop. And a guy actually did a scientific study. He said, it's true. It's true. It does drop whenever he's giving a talk on global warming. You know, there's like a correlation. It's ridiculous. It's funny. Yeah, global warming will definitely get my channel banned. When global warming first came out, I was like, this crap can't be real. And I looked into it. I studied it. I was still a college student at the time. And it was well-known fact in the physics circles that global warming was a load of crap. That was not a secret, you know? And we were quite open talking about it, too. As physicists, we're just like, there's nothing there. There is no reasonable reason to think that the world is going to warm like that. You know, and their data is all skewed. It came out later, obviously, ClimateGate, if you recall. ClimateGate was when it came out that... how am I going to get... ClimateGate was when it came out that they were manipulating the data, all that kind of stuff. That was fun. Good times. Good times. Where's my light oil? I know there's light oil over here. Where is he getting the solid fuel from? Here it is. Well, I probably should wire up the oil.
What?
Let's see what happens. We should wire up the other gases too, or the other liquids. Let's see if it's actually making it down to the end. It's working. That's awesome. We're all just going to one side of the belt. And it's coming up. We're going to have rocket fuel.
Are you ever gonna research your flying fortress?
When I get rockets going. Why am I making that down here instead of up there? Is there another place where the solid fuel is used? Oh, this guy requires it. That's why. I'm a bit concerned. Oh wait, it's making it down the line.
Why is half your factory not doing anything?
Because it doesn't have any resources. I have calculated. I did something wrong. I'm a Telbor person. There we go. Let's pull this up. Light. What is it called? Solid fuel. Solid fuel. From light oil. That's what I need. I need 32.6 chemical plants. I need to rebalance. I haven't rebalanced. Oh, man.
Hey, Dad, I think we have a problem.
We have a big problem, Kayla.
You're looking at something that the other viewers can't see because
Oh, they can't see, no.
because it looks like your mouse is floating around and you're going crazy. You're going
I'm looking at a spreadsheet with a bunch of numbers. It's not interesting. Don't worry about it. So rebalance. Let's try that running that script again. I had to refresh the page. Sometimes it doesn't run for some reason. I don't know why. Is it gonna? There it goes. Is it gonna finish? 32.6. Rocket fuel. 45.9. That doesn't make any sense. How can that possibly be true? How can that? Okay, so one of these guys, it's a 2-second process. These guys have a speed of 1. So we're basically making 1 every 2 seconds times 32.6. And up here,
Stop, you're getting shot at.
holy cow, it's gonna work.
Stop, what are you doing?
This guy needs 3. He needs 10 every 30 seconds. That explains what's going on. That's why there's more of these guys. I think it's if it was the other way around, it'd be. You can see it's catching up. It's making it down the line. It's just gonna take a while to get all the way down. There we go. Next one is on. Yeah, it's gonna make it. Okay. So now I want to get this light oil down to that stuff. I need to go look at all the... Like, does this guy require? No, he doesn't. I think that's the only place light oil is used. So let's go ahead and use like this. We're going to have the... It doesn't line up, does it? Ah! I don't know what that was, JJ. You tell me. What happened? We're not getting oil. Yay! We could do productivity modules if we wanted to. Don't want to, though. There we go. There. Now I'm going to go look for other liquids that we need. And like this guy, he needs petroleum gas, man. Let's go ahead and do that. I don't have that many belts or underground pipes. We'll have them go here. This will be... I need to have... It's probably up here, actually. This is petroleum gas. Why is it not hooked up? This is where I put the extra ones. I'm going to run out of here pretty soon. I'm out. Okay, where's my jet? It's all the way down there. We have ways of making you talk. It's 55 minutes. I should wrap this episode up soon. I'm just going to lay some belts, some pipes. Then we'll be done. Look how fast this thing goes, man. I need to start braking, otherwise I'm going to pass it. I passed it. I passed it. That's those. These guys, I want more. All right. All right, we'll leave them here.
Whoa.
Stupid rocks. Okay, that's that for that. So these guys should all have petroleum gas for the plastic. Let's look for anybody else that wants some liquids. Or gases, or whatever they are called. This guy wants some. He wants some water, too. I guess water is the next thing we're going to use. Always the rocks. I don't have water on this. I do. I do, actually. And I need lubricant, too. I know that much. So might as well just do it right now. I'm going to stop there. One, because I've run out of underground pipes. And two, because I don't know how far the lubricant needs to go. Let's go get some pipes. What are we doing? 58.34 seconds. I want to end on the hour. See how close I can get to ending on the hour. So 2 more minutes to lay these pipes. Let's actually go down and wire things up as we need them. This guy, he wants petroleum gas too. He's already wired up. Water is watered up. This guy, he wants lubricant.
The water's watered up.
Yeah. It's actually, because I don't need water below there. Let's save a couple pipes. We don't need petroleum gas below there. Okay, and we can... There we go, that's all lubricanted up. Lubricanted. We have this stuff here that we need to pass around.
You have 20 seconds left.
It's 20 seconds left. Oh, but I want to do this so bad. Where's my sulfuric acid? Here's my sulfuric acid.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
You want me to end it exactly on the hour, JJ?
3, 2, 1. You fool.
I fail? Did I fail at life? failed, JJ. I'm a failure. What am I going to do now, JJ? Now that I'm a failure.
You have 12, 11, 10, 12.
Okay, that should all be lined up and connected together once you guys get sulfuric acid, that is. Any other liquids? Not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. Let's make sure they're all lined up. These guys are all connected. These guys are all connected. Ooh, what's this? This is light oil. He's connected. And plastic is connected. That's it. That's all that we need. Perfect. Excellent. Muy bueno. Muy bueno. What else do I got to give out? So, how is this guy? Are these guys doing okay with the light oil? They're just taking their sweet time to make that light oil, and these guys are sucking it all up. What do you think? You own all the rocket fuel in the universe? He has rocket fuel. He has some rocket fuel. He has 10 of them, actually. This guy has some, too. Let's take some of this rocket fuel and just pass it out, just because I don't like to watch them blink.
Oh.
Well, I don't have quite enough. Maybe I need to make more of these guys. What do you think? Should I make more? Let's make some more. I'm out of inserters. I can't make any more. I can't do it. I don't have any more to make. Alright guys, thanks for watching. We'll continue next time. Probably get these trains doing something useful. I'll pick up these rocks though. These rocks are bothering me. Bye bye, Mr. Rock. You too. You got to get out of here too. Let's make some landfill while we're at it. There we go, 20 landfill. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye bye.